Thank you for this opportunity. My name is William Geen. I'm president of Americans for Legal Immigration Pact. We are the nation's third largest immigration and border enforcement advocacy organization. And we are Americans of every race, political party, and walk of life that do our best to represent the supermajority of Americans on these issues and to help lawmakers make decisions that are reflective of the will of the public. First, I just want to say how wonderful it is to see this legislative body finally addressing an issue of the highest level of importance to the North Carolina American citizenry. North Carolinians are suffering in many ways due to the impact of illegal immigration, whether it's lost jobs, depreciated wages, degraded healthcare and educational facilities, stolen taxpayer resources, or direct impacts from other types of criminality associated with illegal immigration. North Carolinians are upset about this for many reasons. And one of the main draws of illegal immigration into North Carolina, besides the taxpayer benefits, which are often unprotected, is jobs. If this bill passes and goes to the governor's desk, you will be opening up thousands, perhaps tens of thousands of jobs for Americans that have innocent Americans that have been thrown out of their jobs and their homes in unprecedented numbers. I want you to think about the certified and scientific polling data that will give you some indication of what the people back home in your districts think about your vote today. 67% of Americans support states taking measures to enforce immigration law as this would do according to a February 2011 Rasmussen poll. 70% favor strict government sanctions against employers that intentionally hire illegal immigrants instead of legal immigrants or American citizens, according to a Rasmussen poll, June 2010. 71% of Americans want bosses that hire illegal immigrants arrested, and 64% support local police conducting surprise raids. Now, that's not in this bill, but it gives you an idea. Yes, sir. Usually opposition to these measures that House Bill 36 are encompasses is usually around the 10 to 15% range. So we would highly encourage you to represent the majority of your constituents by supporting HB 36 today.
When I saw this bill filed some time ago, I was initially concerned because I don't think we as a state legislature have the authority or should have the authority to mandate to the private market the way they're going to do this. What I do like is the fact that this applies to contractors who receive government money. I firmly agree that we can do this to companies who receive state money, and I support the bill.
In my district, I have many people who have spoken to me about employers who've spoken to me in the private sector about how E-Verify has been problematic for them when they've tried to use it, that they found, in fact, errors. And the representative of the coalition who spoke a few minutes ago talked about a 6% error rate. And so I want to say to members that 6% error rate, I hope none of us would be part of the 6% where the program is wrong. And when it is, that you in fact have someone who has erroneously lost her job or his job. The Government Accounting Office has indicated that the E-Verify system sometimes breaks down, and what we're doing here is pushing something. In this case, we've taken out the private sector because the private sector recognizes the problems with it and doesn't think that it's an accurate way for them to know who is documented and who is not. But now we're going to, because the private sector has organized itself against the bill, they're out of the bill. It seems that governments at our level, local governments are afraid to come forward and talk about all the problems they have. It seems to me that there's just too many questions about E-Verify. If the private sector was able to exempt themselves from the bill, then clearly we don't have a bill that our employers in the market think works. So instead, we're sticking the bill just on those government agencies who do not feel they're in a position to challenge this. I just think we're pushing something that we ought not be pushing, and I won't be supporting the bill. Thank
The
you.
private sector was never in the bill. The private sector was never considered to be in the bill. And the private sector that is in bills in other states has been held up at appeals court levels. And I'm hearing the same arguments that I heard back in 2005 when I first brought this up to the state. And the state has not had any great problems.
Representative Lukey made a lot of my comments, but on, I couldn't find it on the bill. I was looking at the explanation saying a contractor will not be guilty of a Class 1 felony if they submit a subcontractor's false certification or fail to investigate. Why is a person that fails to do the E-Verify or investigate not guilty?
The contractor who's accepting the verifications from the subcontractor is not being held responsible for that subcontractor's verification. However, the subcontractor is being held liable for it. In other words, if the subcontractor lies to the contractor and gives him this certification, the contractor should not be held liable. He should not pay any penalty for what someone who's below him that he's contracted with is certifying was legally done.
If I understand the bill sponsor correctly, I believe that he said that about 8% of these cases are actually flagged, and only about 4% of those 8% that are actually flagged actually challenge that, which means that about 3 people out of 1,000 will actually be put in a position where they will challenge or actually choose to challenge the fact that they were flagged, and then, as the bill sponsor, I believe, stated, they have the opportunity to set the record straight.
That's correct.
So, it seems to me that we have people in opposition that are saying that we should oppose this bill because it's not perfect. People are going to make errors at times, and actually 3 people out of 1,000 may have to challenge the system and make it right. It occurs to me that we have current systems and agencies that sometimes make mistakes. I'm not aware of any efforts to do away with them because they sometimes make an error. And quite honestly, I haven't heard anybody in opposition that has brought forward any suggestions or potential solutions to this huge problem that's any better than this. And I want to commend the bill sponsors and just say that I will support the bill.
If there's a problem with, as has been said, undocumented employees, why wasn't the private sector included?
The best I can tell you, Representative Adams, is it's coming.
Excuse me?
It's coming.
It's coming. Okay. Thank you for your answer.